disrespected yet? Does this defense have any heart?
No, they suck. I've been telling you all season, Philly.
They shit on you. They shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Pickens, Jalen Carter. It's like they shit on you. They've shit on you. They have shit on you. Don't you hear me? Jordan Pickens, Jalen Carter. It's like they shit on you. Kill them.
Oh my goodness! Did he say they cock it on them?
I hate the style of defense.
Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here for my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. We got the funky chicken over there, and we got Bucky, the horny beaver, hanging out on the coffee table. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up the football gods. It is hump day. It is the day before Thanksgiving. And you know what I'm thankful for? You want to know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful that Dan Salio is doing a holiday show, and we're on it after beating the Philadelphia Eagles. For the first time, I get to go in there with a shit-eating grin. With a shit-eating grin because the Cowboys beat those damn Eagles, and there's not shit that they can say. It wasn't that, it was a fumble or something like that, caused them to lose. It was a complete collapse. It was 21 points, and the Cowboys looked like roadkill. The Eagle fans were celebrating. They were super chatting and trolling me. And then they failed miserably. But I'm betting that the numbers for that show today, at least on Dan's end, that Eagle fans, like the cockroaches that they are, won't show up because they're fair weather bitches. They're soft. And I feel good. But like Dak Prescott said, yes, I am a Dak Prescott fan. I don't give a rat's ass who knows it. Dak is my quarterback. That is my guy, and he has been since 2016. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not ashamed to say I am a Dallas Cowboy fan. Do I take a lot of shit? Yeah, I do. But like Dak Prescott said, the Philadelphia Eagle game means nothing. What means something right now is Kansas City on Thanksgiving. That's the only thing that matters right now. You can't look at the Lions the week after or the Chargers or the Commanders or the Giants. The only thing that matters is the frickin' Kansas City Chiefs on Thanksgiving, which may be the most watched game, regular season game in NFL history. You got the Swifties and Taylor Swift, Pat Mahomes, Kansas City kind of not having a Kansas City-like game. You got the Cowboys having the tragic loss of their defensive end, Marshawn Nealon, that had been 3-5-1 trying to save their season. And I dare say, for the first time, the NFL might be rooting for the Cowboys to make the playoffs. Let's believe it. Believe it. When the Cowboys are good, the NFL makes more money. Brings out more haters, brings out more trolls, but they're truly the moneymaker. And for the Cowboys to be in a position that if every week it's win or go home, man, that's much watched TV. And if it ends up being over 47 million people watch that game tomorrow, I can guarantee you I'm going to be one of them. Mike's going to be another one. I know Tracy going to be one. Okay? But we going to be watching. We're going to be part of that. You're going to be part of that. Whether you hate the Cowboys or love the Cowboys, you will watch this one because it's that important. And here's where you actually have to feel good because We got Starsky and Clutch being George Pickens, that we're not trying to get the ball just to one guy, that we've got a running game with Javonte Williams, who's quietly closing in on 1,000 yards, way ahead of Saquon Barkley, rushing the ball over a yard more per carry than Saquon. We have George Pickens. There's my chipmunk. We have George Pickens, who has more yards receiving than all of the Steelers' wide receivers combined. Hey, buddy, what's up? The chipmunk, he's just sitting there chilling. He's like, oh, you're doing your morning video. He always, I swear, every morning I'm doing my video. He comes in, and look, he's just kind of hanging out. He's like, oh, you're talking about me? Yeah. They're really smart creatures, even though they look like a little rat. But be that as it may. When you have butter like this,
all we have to do is slip the other side of the 50, and Brandon Aubrey's going to kick us a field goal and win us a game.
You can make that for him?
Hell yeah. Butter.
That's why he got an expert on Madden?
Yeah. We already where we need to be at to kick a field
So
goal.
he can kick a 61? I know I'm still new to this.
I know I'm still new to this shit. It helps a lot when you have confidence in a kicker. We've been there with Money Maher, and guys, oh my God, you got to pay that guy. You got to pay George Pickens. And for anybody out there that said Dak Prescott's not elite, an elite quarterback elevates the people around him. George Pickens? George Pickens? I'm just saying. And we got to give a shout out to our offensive line, who is slowly becoming one of the better ones. I know we've got problems right now. Tyler Guyton seems to stay injured. He's going to be out this week with the high ankle sprain. We got Big Nate. Thank God we actually have a Big Nate who can play on either side, because he was starting, of course, on the right side. Now he's on the left side. And the Cowboys will have their hands full. But you know what's amazing? I want you to think about this for a second here. Because when we look at Micah Parsons right now, Micah Parsons, who is killing it, he may end up being the defensive MVP, although Myles Garrett has a lot more sacks. But the amount of pressures he's getting, he's over 10 sacks for the 5th year. He is on a trajectory to really go through the stratosphere, and I'm proud of him and happy for him. The fact that he got 3 sacks in one game. You know what he didn't really do was he didn't light up the Cowboys. I want you to think about that for a second. He's one of the premier pass rushers in the NFL, but he didn't light up the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, you know, we did score 40 points. Imagine if we'd had this defense then. Damn. I want you to think about the Eagles' defense with the twin towers of power, with those big-ass guys in the middle that literally demoralized the Lions, getting their big paws up and literally just being like an eclipse. Those guys got neutralized by the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to need that kind of effort against Chris Jones tomorrow. If they can do that, they got a good shot at winning. Can the Cowboys now, can that defense now actually play a legitimate NFL offense? Okay, again, it was kind of like a bye week the last 2 weeks for the defense because they played the Raiders offense, which is putrid. And they're playing, of course, the Eagles offense, which are ass, and so on. Now they get to take on a real quarterback and a real offense. This is the test, and I hope and pray that we get a win, because their 10% chance of making the playoffs jumps up to about 20 with a win. I got to go to George Pickens. George Pickens, man, he's the toast of the town right now. Josina Anderson, she got him right after the game in the locker room. And I want to bring you this because, you know, George Pickens, we had heard so many things negative about George Pickens and, you know, how he was a cancer or anything else. I don't know what happened. I don't know how that narrative happened in Pittsburgh. I don't know if him being traded to the Cowboys made him grow up, although he's still a bit of a prankster, and you can see he's a big kid. But he's nothing like what people said he was going to be.
Pickens in the Cowboys locker room after the big win against the Eagles. I'm trying to figure out if there's room to even sit beside him because the money bag just keep growing and growing. I just asked Jerry Jones if, where the George Pickens stock was, because we know that Waller going to have to open up in the offseason. How do you feel about 9 for 146 in a game where you guys were down 21-0?
I feel good. Shout out to the guys, too. All the guys, Dag, C, Javante, our old linemen, some of the defensive players as well, because I couldn't have did it without them, too.
So what was the talk, at halftime? Because it seems like when you start off the game, giving it up on downs on your first possession, and then it's almost like a bad omen for the rhythm. So describe kind of how the struggle felt out there in the first half and what was said at halftime.
It felt real, honestly, but it kind of felt surreal at the same time because we knew that we were hurting ourselves. When we knew that we were kind of hurting ourselves, we knew we had to get better at execution.
So the other thing I just wanted to ask you too, when Dak had the ball on 4th and goal at 1, and it doesn't go y'all's way, what's going through your mind at that point?
Just hopefully we get another chance at it. That's the thing. When you get that close and you don't score, all you can do is just hope that you see it again. And we did. They made some mistakes as well. We capitalized on them and we executed.
How rewarding, George. Come on, I need you to take a step back and take this in. I know you're rushing because you got to talk to the masses over there, but still, take a moment, because these moments are far and few between, right, in life, right? So how rewarding is this for you when you know in the back of your mind that you are stacking good circumstance after good, outcome, especially with what I'm sure you're going to be looking for in the offseason?
Yeah, I'll probably just say a blessing, honestly. If I really just think about life, it's definitely a blessing for me. And like I said, I couldn't do it without the guys, so I just want to keep going, honestly, and hopefully we can get a lot of more wins.
What do people say to you, that kind of know what everything was like for you in Pittsburgh, whether it be family members, people in your circle, and they're seeing like the opposite, the juxtaposition of just the difference when the environment is different? Because if you think a lot about your NFL comrades just around the league and so many people who have flipped their story in a different place, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whether it be I can go down in a bunch of names, right? But what message do you want to articulate to people out there as far as how environment matters, support matters, positive outcomes matter?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like you said, the environment do matter. More of yourself, though. More of like knowing yourself. If you know yourself, I feel like you can overcome a lot of stuff, whether it's that people saying bad stuff about you, you having a bad game, you had a bad morning, whatever that may be. If you know yourself and you know, like, the sun gonna rise tomorrow, then that'll get you through a lot of stuff.
There's this guy on Instagram that always does this hype me up dance and stick his little Timberland. And I know you've seen that. And that's what the locker room sounded like, before we came in. Can you just describe the energy that was in here just now?
Man, the energy, like I said, the fashion we won in too, so definitely the energy is high right now. Guys still jump around on the defensive side over there, so the energy is super high.
And lastly, what do you think the Cowboys are still able to accomplish this season, despite even Jerry Jones was stuck? He said they still showed that we don't have any quit. That even when things start bad, it can still turn over. But what do you think about the chances that you guys have to still come back and make a difference in the postseason?
Fight, that's probably, and resilience. Just keep going at it. Like I said, we shot ourselves in the foot a lot today. But that's one of the things we hold close to is just resilience, so just keep going.
Well, keep on being a narrative buster, because I feel like that's the theme for multiple people today around the NFL. Congratulations to you.
I appreciate you.
All right, back to you.
Amen. Shout out to Josina Anderson. Everybody is on YouTube these days. I mean, damn. How am I supposed to compete with that? How am I supposed to compete with that, man? I'm old. I'm ugly. I'm in my basement. It ain't fair, man. We've been here all these years doing this thing. Now everybody's coming in looking all cute and sexy and everything. I mean, damn. So the bottom line is we got to get a win. Today is going to be, I'm kind of rushing here this morning because I got to go out and do some work. And then I got to come back for the Rumble in the Jungle, the Thriller in Manila, the Fight to End All Fights on the Dan Saleo Show at 4:30. So I got to go ahead and get this shit done, and I can't wait for the first time. And I got a little something. I got a little dig in there since Philly 500 started the whole thing with the crazy glasses and the here we go. You know what? I'm gonna thank him for those glasses. Say, Philly, those glasses work real good because it worked to perfection against you guys. So this morning we've got the preview from Good Morning Football about the Cowboys and Kansas City. And I want to listen to see what Kyle, the number one Cowboy hater, he's kind of taking over for Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith is kind of rooting for the Cowboys now. I guess he's beginning to realize that maybe this train is actually getting its shit together and how much money he's getting from Jerry Jones. Let's go to the tape.
As do you. It's a team effort here on GMFB. And with that, we got to talk about the games tomorrow, shall we? The Chiefs and the Cowboys get set to square off on Thanksgiving Day. Two teams coming off big-time wins in Week 12. And yesterday, Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes spoke to the media about what it means for them to play on Thanksgiving Day.
It's a blessing. It's something that I never take for granted. Putting on, especially, since we went back to the throwback uniforms, it just brings me back to being a kid and watching, the Cowboys every Thanksgiving, going outside, playing with my brothers after we ate or during halftime or whatever it may be. And so just to think about all the other families and kids and people out there that are watching us and that we can inspire just by the way that we play the game and just want to go out there and win. And as I said, inspire with just the way we take the field.
Obviously, you grew up watching Thanksgiving games, no matter who you're a fan of. If it's the Lions, the Cowboys, or whoever's playing at night. I mean, you grew up watching those games. And so I think as that kid in me wants to be able to go out there and play on Thanksgiving and find a way to win and against a really good football team and the whole world watching.
All right, not a ton of history here. The only time these two teams have faced each other on Thanksgiving was back in 1995, a Cowboys heyday, if you will. Cowboys beat that Chiefs team 24-12. And at that time, Dallas head coach Brian Schottenheimer's father, Marty, was the head coach in Kansas City. That's a very nice family that all connects us on Thanksgiving. Manti, think about current day matchup, though. Cowboys-Chiefs, what do you got?
Well, first, they're both coming off of huge wins, probably the biggest wins of the season for both of them. However, I'm going to look at the Chiefs, and I'm going to look at Patrick Mahomes. When you watch him the past, at least for this year, I see a Patrick that's his timing is a little quicker. He's going, and Antonio Romo said a lot last week on the broadcast.
Oh, of course
it seems like he's going through his progressions too fast. Now, I also empathize with Patrick Mahomes because not too long ago in the Super Bowl, the guy was getting hit every single angle. And for the first 7 games of this year, he had his average time to throw was a little over 2 seconds. That's not a lot of time. Now, from week 8 on to this current moment, he's been able to hold the ball for a little over 3 seconds. But people have to understand, when you've been hit so many times, that clock in your brain, that little rhythm that tells you that, hey, I got to get this ball out, is still there. So I hope that going into this game against the Cowboys, they do like to run zone. They actually run zone at the 4th highest clip in the NFL. But in the event that they do run man, for Patrick Mahomes to be a little bit more patient. Let those routes develop for him, because the past few weeks you could see him get off of routes and get off of receivers a little too fast, and all of a sudden they come open, but he missed them because he's doing this. He's scrambling a lot. So just be patient, Mike G. Let the games come to him, and if he does, I think he's going to put his team in the best position to win.
Yeah, that side of the ball is going to be fascinating, especially if what happens on the other side of the ball plays to the Chiefs' strengths, because that's what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at strength against strength. I'm looking at the top-ranked Cowboys passing offense against this Chiefs defense. The Chiefs defense overall 6th in the NFL right now. And the cornerbacks for the Kansas City Chiefs. Trent McDuffie, obviously, we've talked a ton about him. You want to hear a game analyst gush about Trent McDuffie, you'll hear plenty of that. But Jalen Watson, the guy on the other side, has been intriguing to me this year. He's a 7th-round pick back in 2022. He is playing extremely well. And back in 2022, he signed a rookie deal that was 4 years, $3.7 million with an $85,000 signing bonus. Jalen Watson in the near future is going to be signing a much, much, much bigger deal. When I talk to folks in Kansas City, they say he's tackling better. He's playing with better instincts against the run and the pass. When we lost L'Jarius Sneed, there was a big hole opposite McDuffie on the other side, and now he has really filled that hole tremendously and done a really good job. He's got the length, the speed. He can play press. He can play off. He can tackle. He's doing everything. He's going to have to do this against the Cowboys wide receivers on both sides of the ball. Look, you know how much I love Steve Spagnuolo. I've talked about him plenty. David Merritt is a longtime assistant for Steve Spagnuolo as well, coaches the defensive backs. I've known him since he coached them with the Giants 20 years ago. He has done a fantastic job bringing along young guys. Jalen Watson is one of those, and he's going to cash in soon.
Well, I'm going to talk about someone he's going to be chasing around because I feel like there's a different emphasis when you watch Thanksgiving football. You want someone, do you want to watch players who are not only really good at football, you also, I think you want some entertainment quotient. You want to have some fun. There's people watching football who don't always watch football like we do. And I have front row seats for George Pickens. You guys know this. I am so excited to watch him against this Chiefs team. There's a lot of things to peel back about Pickens, but the first and most important one is this trade has been a massive success. When you go back and do trade grades, it's an A. It might even be an A+. Understand what he's done on the football field. In the NFL this year, there are two 1,000-yard receivers right now. One of them is Jackson Smith-Njigba. The other is George Pickens. Average yards per catch. Number one is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Number two is George Pickens. Yards per game. Number one is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Number two is George Pickens. George Pickens and Jackson Smith-Njigba have a catch of 50 yards in 6 games this year. It's incredible. You know what's the most incredible part? I just made up that stat. And you're like, yeah, I believe it. That's not true at all. They don't have 6 catches of 50 yards. That's ludicrous. Nobody has that. But you would believe it if I told you it. And here's the thing that's really, really cool about George Pickens. He comes in, and he was probably sat down and said, George, we got CD over there. He's going to take all the coverage. You're just going to cook. You're going to run up huge numbers. You're going to be incredible. The twist was CD gets hurt. CD gets out early in the season. In the 3 games in which CD was gone, and Pickens is like, you're the man now with Dak, who you barely know. In 3 games, he had 359 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is when he came into his own. And here's the best part. We haven't had, as the kids call, the crash outs. There have been no fights. There have been no this. It hasn't happened. Now, there have been 3 personal fouls. I'm not going to say it's been absolutely beautiful. There's been some things, but it's like he got a personal foul, like a flag for jumping on the goalpost. Like, we'll take that. In the context of Pickens, fine. The other ones were maybe playing a little too hard, unnecessary this, unnecessary that. The football has been excellent. I hate to say it, it's a patronizing word, but the behavior has been doable. We'll take it. It's been a massive success, and CD hasn't even really got locked in yet. If you're looking for something fun to watch on the football field tomorrow, watch Pickens for the Cowboys. It's been so great, and I have all positive things to say about it. It's been really cool.
If I said to you, back when he was became a part of
offer me a deal?
And I said to you, he's going to miss the bus and be sat for a series. He's going to have, what, three personal
fine.
Fouls? What would you have said about that?
I'll take it all day. Just missing a bus? That's it. He's not driving the bus. Missing the bus and 3 personal fouls through Thanksgiving. Sign me up. I think that's a win. And they're sweet personal fouls. It's not like the bad stuff, okay? I don't mind it that much.
It's not like
it's a good kind.
CD and George are Keanu and Sandra Bullock on Speed, like trying to manage a situation on the highway. It's not like that.
We don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Kyle, what you also don't want, to your point, though, is for that crash out, if it ever does happen, don't have it happen at the holidays. You know, don't have it happen at Thanksgiving dinner or the Cowboys play on Christmas Day. Like, just have it be like a regular week.
There are no regular weeks
opposite of crash out. In fact, I'm going to call my shot here. I know this is very, very naughty and frowned upon, and we hope it doesn't happen. The Salvation Army kettle. Pickens is jumping in that kettle. All right, he's going to jump in that kettle. If you have to draft a team, and by the way, we should probably do it. A Cowboy who is most likely to be in the kettle. We have the Jones family coming on later, and Jerry and Charlotte. We can ask them. And I know it's very naughty, and it's a terrible thing to do. And don't jump in that kettle, no matter what you do, even though it brings attention to the Salvation Army. Don't do it. But I think if someone does do it, I think it'll be George Pickens. That's my guy.
And more would be donated on behalf. It's perfect. We're going to have to pick those guys later, and we will talk to the Jones family as Kyle.
All right, there you have it, good people. Kansas City Cowboys. What a difference 3 weeks have made in the Cowboys world. It's been a roller coaster ride, and I will say that Eagles game was the antipathy of what's transpired in the season. It's been so many highs and lows that you just don't know. It's literally a roller coaster ride there. You just holding on to see what the hell comes up next. And this is why the NFL needs the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs. The amount of attention, the drama, and everything else, for them to be doing Hard Knocks right now, had the Cowboys lost to the Eagles, I don't know that Hard Knocks in season would be as big as it is right now because of the amount of drama. The Eagles seemingly crashing and burning, the Cowboys seemingly turning it around after everything that's transpired. Great story. And I'm on the edge of my seats and can't wait to see how it's going to end. So with that being said, we got to get out of here. Come on, man. Come on.
Pick up flags against the Eagles
every
week.
2nd and 10. Here we go.
2nd and 10. You got to score, man. We need a touchdown.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Are you telling me it's a pick six? Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Philly! Oh, shit! Oh, my God! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! He's passed the fuck out! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! What a bad pass! Oh, my God!
Horrible throw!
What a stupid pass!
Horrible throw!
Oh, shit!
That's it. That's game. That's the game.
Oh, shit! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, shit!
So it's like, all right, basically, you want to eat some ass? You want to eat up some ass? Eat up some ass.